Hi, and welcome to the next section, which was how to write a paragraph using the what does it say, what does it mean, and what is its value method. Now, let me just grab a marker real quick. As we kind of briefly talked about in the last section, the what does it say, what does it mean, what is its value model is slightly different, but still pulls on some of those similar threads of having a main idea, using evidence to support your reasoning, and of course doing some analytic and of course some reasoning to connect that evidence back to your main idea. So, when you first start writing, you always want to think to yourself, especially in regards to a paragraph, what am I trying to say with this paragraph? So, as we talked about the Robert Scholes method, what do I want to say is the first question that we want to answer. Now, it might be something as simple as I want to say that the use of technology is very important to a successful academic curriculum. Or it might be a little bit more nuanced, and you might want to say education is affected by technology, or technology affects education in dispersal, use, and access. So your saying doesn't have to be limited, but you do want to make sure that just like that main idea from the meal plan, that you are focusing on this idea of a clear topic with clear purpose and some aspects that kind of will allow your reader to gain insight into what you want to say. Now, you don't have to get too bogged down as you're drafting this, because as we spoke about earlier and throughout this, this little course, writing is a process. So don't get married to something, but remember that you want to have kind of a main focus and that you can always revamp the way that you're expressing it. Now, after you do the what do I want to say, then the big thing is what do I mean? Or what is the meaning of this? So this kind of question of what is the meaning is key. Now, when we think about meaning, how do we make meaning? We make meaning based on evidence that supports our observations. We use knowledge in the form of evidence to support meaning. So knowledge and evidence creates the meaning for us. So when we ask what is the meaning, if we did a statement like technology affects education, then what are we meaning by that? Well, we might need to define how it affects it. What is the effect of it? What is technology? What is education? We might need to limit. What do we speak about when we're talking about education? What aspects of technology? Or we might need to find information that helps us define and or limit or expand. So, as I mentioned in the first section, using ideas like, for instance, as an example, scholars suggest, really will help you to start to think about the idea that this meaning is related to scholarship and research that will support that idea and that exploration. Now, the last portion of this is, what is the value? And this is really where we can line it up with that notion of analysis, and that we are thinking about what is the value of my meaning in relation to what I'm trying to say? What is the value of that evidence in relation to my focus? How am I showing that my evidence and my reasoning point to this main idea? That education and technology are in a relationship and they affect each other? Well, then we want to tell our reader how this happens. Just like before, using words like compare, contrast, illustrate, examine, analyze, present, construct, those type of Bloom's taxonomy, as we mentioned, and we'll keep mentioning. Take a big Google search for Bloom's taxonomy, and you will find a ton of verbs that will help you with your analysis and describing what that meaning is and that value. So, How do you take this and make it into a paragraph? Well, I would say that the best thing to do, for those of you who want to try this method, is to take a piece of paper and to basically half it, or put, like 1/4 and 3/4. And you just want to just put out to the side, this paragraph says, this paragraph means, and the value of this paragraph. So you'd have, this paragraph says, and list what it wanted to say. This paragraph means, and list the evidence that you want, and list then the value of the paragraph. So in here would be the evidence, the meaning, the evidence that you're going to use to base your reasoning on. So that, of course, is one way to do it. And you could also, of course, do this model for a great revision tool, too. So if you already have paragraphs, you could go through and ask yourself off to the margins, this paragraph is saying, this paragraph is doing, this paragraph is related to, or the value of this paragraph is X, Y, and Z. So it's another model that will help you to become more comfortable with paragraph writing. And you can kind of see that there's no one way to construct a paragraph. There really is a relationship, and it's thinking about how you want to communicate those ideas to your reader. If you do have any questions, remember you can always pop in and ask ask for any questions or insights. Thank you so much, and have a great day.